why can I go buy a 35-foot fifth wheel for the same price as a slide-in truck camper? The slide-in truck camper is smaller. It should cost less money. Well, that simply isn't true. So, welcome to HB RV Lifestyle, the podcast. I'm the host, John Livingston, aka the Honey Badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business, as well as some other things. Now, you're talking about logic. But I get folks that walk into either the dealership or call me or talk to me through Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, always constantly saying, because it's smaller and lighter weight, a truck camper should be a quarter or a fraction of the cost of a big fifth wheel or big motorhome. And while your logic makes sense, you forget that the build and construction of an Arctic Fox, Host, Eagle Cap, Scout, Palomino, a bunch of these units are built different than a travel trailer. First of all, there's no axles, there's no tires. So you have to have the center of gravity right. You have to have the slide out balanced properly. You have to have the generator, if it has one, and solar balanced properly for the size truck you're trying to match up to. For example, you go to an Arctic Fox 1150. An Arctic Fox 1150 is a long bed dually truck only, period. In a lot of cases, you need to have past a 1-ton truck, like an F450. A Ram 6500. I'm making joke about Ram. Later on, we'll cover that. So reality is that to do a dry bath with a generator and 3 solar panels and an inverter, all that weight has to be balanced correctly and properly throughout the entire truck camper in order for it to run better. So there are less built. Here's an example. I want you guys to imagine this, okay? Let's say you're working on a factory floor. You're building 20 travel trailers a day. Now, nobody's really building 20 right now. Most people are building 5 to 10, but that's a different subject for a different day. But let's say it's a good economy. They're building 20 a day. You got a line of people that take about 8 man-hours a day times 10 people to build a 35-foot travel trailer. The truck camper, it takes 2 to 3 days of man-hours with those same 10 people. So it's more labor intensive. It doesn't just go down a line and slap it together. Now, there are a couple brands like that. I'm not saying that there aren't brands like that. But for a high quality truck camper, there isn't a lineup of 20 going down the row that are just getting slapped together because that's the imagination people want to have. If you look, Arctic Fox, as an example, and Host and Alaskan Campers and Scout Campers and Adventure build less than 3 a day. And they only build a certain amount of truck campers per year, especially Arctic Fox. So Arctic Fox, Northwood Manufacturing says, okay, this year we're only going to build 160 truck campers for the nation. They don't build 161, they don't build 159, they're going to build 160 whatever. That's it. And that's enough labor and that's enough money to cover all their employees and still make a little profit. So truck campers are a different animal. It is a different industry. Let me put it this way. It is so different that lenders treat it differently. Most credit unions will not finance a truck camper. Not all of them won't, but the super majority of credit unions will not finance a truck camper. There are literally access to most dealerships, 3 prime lenders and 1 subprime lender. That's it. You're either a 15% to 18% candidate or you're a 7 to 9% candidate. There's no in between. So if lenders, the people that lend the money on these rigs, treat truck campers differently, it is a different industry altogether compared to motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels. It should realistically, it should be its own thing. A lot like how camper vans should be their own thing. So the cost per unit is close to triple at the manufacturing level when it comes to man hours. Not materials, man hours, engineering, having the proper center of gravity for every truck made. Not, okay, we built one for Ram, one for Chevy, one for Ford, one for this bed that was built in 1965 and one that was built in 2019. That's not the way it works. They have to build one model that fits all the truck beds. So if you're a short bed truck and you're 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'2", 6'3", they have to build that truck camper specific to all short bed lengths and have the proper center of gravity. Today, I had a gentleman show up with a Ford F-250. He put a ton of money into that truck to make it basically a 1-ton truck. We put an Arctic Fox in the back of the truck. He went and drove it just to see how it goes. And he goes, holy crap, man, this is heavy. I go, yeah. Everybody with a 1-ton truck knows that an Arctic Fox is heavy. He goes, well, I don't think I can like this. Okay, let's move you into a Wolf Creek, but it doesn't have a slide. So they're on their way right now to see another dealer that carries Lance, because Lance has a slide out and supposedly lighter weight. They're not much lighter. Same problem occurs. Because no matter how you look at it, a truck camper is different than a fifth wheel. Once you actually go to a factory, if you go to the Northwood Manufacturing Factory and watch Arctic Fox truck campers be built, you go watch Host, you go watch Adventurer build Eagle Cat. When you actually watch the process for 1 full week on a truck camper, you all of a sudden open your eyes like, oh, that's why it costs more money. That's why for the price of a Wolf Creek at 42 to 45 grand, I could go buy a brand new Rockwood travel trailer that's 36 feet with 2 slides. I get it. But then you all of a sudden put 2 and 2 together. It's just a different industry.